Chapter 15, verse 24. Yeah?
Talk about these things, isn't it?
I just want to read the Bible. I mean, and I want you to explain to me. I don't want you to think I'm coming across as telling you what the Bible says. You can explain to me what the Bible says.
There is context to anything really, like any kind of book, there's always a context and
Yeah.
there's always like a commentary, like that's all I can say really. I've looked at it, to me, yeah, okay, fair enough, I get it. One of them. It's all about learning, isn't it? There you go.
So,
I was not sent.
so yeah, let's start from the top. A Gentile shows her faith.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
As well as this passage we can learn.
So explain the word Gentile is a non-Jew, yeah?
It's a non-believer, yeah.
Non-Jewish.
I'm a Gentile.
Yes, and I'm a Gentile.
Category, yeah.
Excellent. So let's go keep reading.
So, and Jesus went out from there and departed to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came from that region and cried out to him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely demon-possessed. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and urged him, saying, Send her away, for she cries out after us. But he answered and said, I was not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. And she said, Yes. Sorry. I was going to say, is it right if we move over there, guys? Just backing up. That crazy guys that over there. Sorry, did you see that picture of that guy on that poster?
Yeah.
He's saying that's God.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
He's saying what?
See that poster there?
Yeah.
Of that guy, there's a picture of the guy on the poster.
Yeah, he's saying it's God or
He's
something.
saying that's God, and I've said it's not God.
Yeah,
He's been shouting.
you're right. Yeah, okay, good. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, yeah. But he answered and said, It is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. Some translations say dogs, fair enough.
Yes?
And she said, Yes, Lord, not yet even the dogs eat the crumbs, the little dogs or whatever, which fall from their master's table. And Jesus answered and said to her, O woman, great is your faith, let it be to you as you desire. And her daughter was healed from the very hour.
Okay, so the good thing is he healed her.
Yeah.
But let's be frank, right? Here, if you agree with me that racism is a bad thing, and that we should all have the same spiritual opportunity, here according to the Bible, a non-Jewish woman came to Jesus Christ, and she just asked him to cure her and help her. Now, if he was sent as a universal person to all of the peoples, he would have said, of course, no problem. But what we find is, there's a discussion, a back and forth between Jesus and the lady. And at the end of it, he actually refers to her as a dog comparative to the Jews. So he's referring to Gentiles, non-Jewish people, as dogs. So my question to you is, would you refer to yourself and other Gentiles like myself and other people as dogs? And why would you see that as a bad thing, a wrong thing?
The thing is, maybe the way I would look at this, and this is the way I would look at it in all fairness, is to look at the history of the time and to understand the language that he's using.
Yes.
Is it racist? Is it not? Does it fit the period of time? That's how I would do.
Okay, so how would you explain this?
This passage here teaches me a lot about Jesus, because it says in the Bible that whoever so calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. And that's exactly what she did. She called on the name of the Lord. And even though he was sent to the lost sheep of Israel, which is his mission, but the idea was that he goes to the lost sheep, and they were then to take the gospel to the whole world. He was in his mission now, and he was like kind of.
See, I know that there's two discussions here that we don't want to conflate. There's one discussion of who was Jesus sent to. As you know, it says here, do not go in the way of the Gentiles, for I was only sent to the lost sheep of Israel. That's a discussion that you can have. But what I wanted to focus on was this calling Gentiles dogs, Gentiles dogs.
Yeah.
So hear this, and can bring that Bible out again. There's another interesting thing. If you go to Genesis chapter 9 verse 22, there's an interesting discussion there as well, which I wanted to kind of bring up. Yes, Genesis beginning.
I will try and answer as best as I can. I'm not an expert, but I will
No problem. I mean, you've certainly done your research, so
I'm just.
you've done a good job.
I'm talking to a few different places. I'm interested in learning from them as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So let's bring out Genesis chapter 9 verse 22. Is it 8:05? So this is talking about Noah and his sons, yeah?
And Ham, yeah.
So can we read out what it has? And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it out on both of their soldiers. And went back and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. So Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. He said, "Cursed be Canaan, the servant of a servant of servants. He shall be to his brethren." And he said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servants." And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, so all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Now, most of what's happened, if you continue reading here, you'll find who is, as you can see here with the sons of Noah, who they were the descendants of, right? So we realize that Ham, he is the one who is cursed, okay? The curse of Ham is referred to as. And remember, the curse was that he will be a servant of the servants, or a slave. A lot of the biblical commentators have said he is cursed with black skin, and he is cursed with slavery. Do you accept this commentary, or do you think it's not right?
I don't really. It doesn't say anything about being black or anything like that, so I would beg to differ on that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the clear that he's got black skin. If not, then I would.
It's one of the things that I can see what you're saying. Fair enough. I mean. It's not something which is straightforward in the Bible. Not as straightforward as that New Testament thing about Gentiles being dogs and whatever. Let me ask you a direct question. I've given you, like when you asked me, I've given you a range of different Quranic and Islamic references for the racial inclusivity of Islam. I've shown you, for example, chapter 48, verse 12, where it says, "Inna akramakum 'inda Allah atqakum." I showed you that the Prophet said there's no virtue over a black man, over a white man, a black man, Arab, Arab. And these are very straightforward references. What is the most anti-racist thing? In other words, where in the Bible, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, can we find anywhere where there is a challenge to racism? Yeah, because here, remember the point is that your religion is meant to be one of the most racially inclusive religions, yeah? So my question is, where is the proof that it should be in the Bible?
So when you say like regarding racism, you mean like God is inclusive, every person comes to
No, I'm talking about where there's a clear challenge to the crime, or if you think it's morally unacceptable to be racist, where is it? Because like for example, for us, we have a hadith of the Prophet Mohammed, where Bilal, who one of the black people, he was sworn at by one of the people called Abu Dhar al-Ghafari, and Abu Dhar al-Ghafari, he said, you know, you are the son of a black woman, kind of in a derogatory way. So the Prophet was very angry with this, and he turned around and he said, you know, you are still in the days of ignorance. This is jahili. This is an ignorant thing to do. So he challenged racism head on. Is there anything equivalent to that or similar to that in the Bible?
I'd have to look into it because I'm not an expert.
No problem. I mean, have you ever thought about that?
Racism? I don't. I mean, there might be passages in there you could say are racism that you know about. I may not know about them.
Because all we've seen so far is passages which could be potentially interpreted as being racist passages.
Yeah, I would always say like context is very important when it comes to.
True, but all I'm asking, because if we believe in the concept of legalism, of the idea of everything being allowed, except that which is negated and prohibited, surely there should be something in the Bible, because for example, we can't say that something is wrong or immoral unless the Bible tells us what that thing is. Yeah? So if someone is doing something against what the Bible says, you can then say it's against the Bible, and here it is in the Bible to show that it's immoral.
The Ten Commandments are quite a good moral stick.
No problem, I would agree with that, but I'm just speaking directly about racism. So is there anything in the Bible that talks about that?
I don't know the whole Bible.
Very directly, very like, no one can misinterpret it or anything like this.
I don't know, I wouldn't know because I'm studying the Bible at the moment.
No problem, we're both studying the Bible. I'll give you time. Maybe next week you can give it to us, yeah?
I'll look into it, yeah.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
How are you?
I just switched it on anyway.
Should I give this to you?
Put it, hang it there.
I'll give it to you.